Hey there, and welcome. We're about to jump into a sauce that's a total culinary puzzle. It's this incredible symphony of salty, sweet, and savory all in one single spoonful. We're talking about the one and only Picadillo sauce, and trust me, its story is every bit as complex and delicious as its flavor.
So, that brings us to the big question we're tackling today. How on earth did a simple Spanish verb, a word that just means to chop or to mince, end up giving its name to a flavor that has traveled the entire globe? It's a fantastic story. Okay, let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. We've got 5 quick stops on our journey. First up, we'll nail down what picadillo really is. Then, we're going to trace its path across the world. After that, the fun part. We'll decode its amazing flavor, figure out what to pair it with, and finally, I'll walk you through how to master this sauce yourself.
Right then, let's start with the absolute basics. What exactly is picadillo? Well, its story is this incredible evolution, really. It starts as a simple, humble hash and becomes this sophisticated sauce you see in modern restaurants.
You know, the name itself is our first big clue. It comes straight from the Spanish verb picar, which literally means to mince or to chop. And that points directly back to its origins as a dish made from, you guessed it, minced meat, usually leftovers, all simmered together with whatever spices and veggies were around.
And this is where things get really cool. See, while picadillo is traditionally this ground meat hash, somewhere along the line, modern chefs had this light bulb moment. They realized the real magic, the soul of the dish, was in that simmering liquid. So they took that idea, extracted those core flavors, concentrated them down, and transformed it all into the rich, complex sauce we're obsessed with today.
So how did this flavor get around so much? It's everywhere. Let's actually trace the path of picadillo as it made its way from Spain, across the ocean to the Americas, and pretty much all over.
This timeline here really maps out the whole adventure. The idea gets its start way back in Moor Spain as just a simple, hearty, comforting dish. Then, during the colonial era, it hops on a boat with Spanish settlers and lands in places like Cuba and Mexico, where, of course, it starts picking up new local ingredients. And all of that history, all that travel, leads us to its modern form, where the essence of that journey is captured in a single concentrated sauce.
All right, now for my favorite part. Let's actually decode that incredible flavor. It is all about a delicate, brilliant balance, something I like to call the salty, sweet, acidic matrix.
This chart perfectly breaks down the teamwork happening here. First, you get these sharp, briny pops of flavor from the Spanish green olives and capers. Then, to counter that, you get the sweet signal from raisins, which get all plump and juicy as they simmer. All of this is built on a savory, aromatic foundation of onion and garlic, with tomato giving it that rich body and umami. And holding it all together is the subtle, warm spice palette of cumin and a bay leaf. It's just genius.
And that really hits the nail on the head. It's not about one flavor shouting over all the others. It's a true masterclass in complexity. The final taste is savory, it's acidic, and it's got this subtle sweetness all at once. It's bold, for sure, warm and comforting, but, and this is key, there's no real spicy heat.
Okay, so we get the flavor. Now, what in the world do you do with it? Because a sauce this bold needs the right partner to really truly shine. Let's talk about that.
The best way to think about it is this. The sauce is the star of the show, and the protein is its stage. It shines brightest when you pair it with milder foods that give it a clean canvas. Just imagine this spooned over a perfect piece of pan-seared cod or snapper. That brine and acid just cuts right through the richness of the fish. It's also unbelievable with roasted chicken, or used as a final glaze on a pork tenderloin.
All right, you ready to actually make this thing? Let's get to our final section, and I'll show you exactly how you can create this incredible sauce right in your own kitchen. It's easier than you think.
First things first, let's get our toolkit together. We're going to start with some good olive oil and our flavor base, the onion and garlic. For the body of the sauce, a rich tomato base is key. And now for our star players, those salty Spanish green olives, the tiny pops of flavor from capers, and those sweet little raisins. And for that background warmth, just a touch of ground cumin and one single bay leaf. That's it. Let's start with our first flavor signal, the salty and the briny. Look at these Spanish green olives and these tiny little capers. They aren't just ingredients. They're little explosions of flavor that are absolutely essential to giving the sauce its unique personality.
Next up, we need the counterpoint, and that's the sweet signal. It comes from these guys, the raisins. As they simmer away in the sauce, they plump up into these juicy little bursts of sweetness that perfectly balance out all that acid from the olives and tomatoes.
And finally, we have the background singers. We're not looking for an overpowering spice here at all. We just want a little touch of earthy cumin and the subtle aromatic whisper from a bay leaf. Together, they create this warm foundation for all the other big flavors to dance on top of.
And look, the process itself could not be simpler. It's just 4 steps. That's it. First, you sauté your aromatics, your onion and garlic, to build that flavor foundation. Second, you stir in your tomato base and your spices. Third, you integrate those key flavor signals. In go the olives, the capers, and the raisins. And finally, the most important step, the reduction. You just let it all simmer, let the sauce thicken, and let all those incredible flavors get to know each other. So there you have it, the story, the flavor science, and the simple method behind one of the world's most unique and delicious sauces. Now that you know how it works and exactly how to make it, really the only question left is, what are you going to pair with it first?